Jim Inhofe went on Meet the Press this weekend. Now, for those of you who don't know this, last month his son, Perry Inhofe, died in a plane crash at the age of 52. Needless to say, this is an incredibly heartbreaking event for anybody. But what he said about the response from his colleagues when they heard that his son died, it's striking. He said, quote, "I probably shouldn't say this, but I seem to have gotten more, well, at least as many, maybe more, communications from some of my Democrat friends, and I'm a pretty partisan Republican. All of a sudden, the old barriers that were there, the old differences, those things that kept us apart just disappear. It's not just a recognition that I know how much more important this is, but they do too. And they look out, and they realize that you've lost someone, and that brings us closer together. I can't help but think when I'm confronting someone on something in which we disagree, I'll know how they responded to my loss and how we got closer, and it'll stay with me." So he's actually saying, I'm going to lighten up on these Democrats. I've been really harsh on them for years, and the reason I'm going to lighten up is because I realize when I'm going through this ordeal and this horribly depressing event where my son passed away, they were there for me. They called me, they expressed sincere condolences, they actually connected with me as a human being, and they said, "Look, I can't imagine what you're going through, but I'm here for you. All politics aside, all differences aside, we care about you," etc., etc. So, on the one hand, of course, you give Inhofe credit for realizing something which should have been relatively obvious even before this horrible event happened. He should realize that, look, yes, Democrats are not human. I mean, see, the thing is, he's probably so used to listening to Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity on a daily basis pummel into his head that Democrats are actually evil. Not just like, oh, you disagree with them, Jim Inhofe, but no, they mean bad. They're somewhere in a smoke-filled back room twisting their evil mustache trying to screw over conservatives and make the country a worse place. But he realized that's totally not true. That's totally bogus. They're good people. And he was amazed by it. He's like, oh my God, these are good people. What's going on here? So that's the credit I'm going to give him. But now I'm going to needlessly be a douche. We see this all the time with Republicans. I call it the me syndrome. And another good example of this is when Rob Portman, and with Dick Cheney, Rob Portman's son is gay, or his daughter, I think his son. And so immediately, boom, he's in favor of gay marriage now. He did an announcement, talked about it. He's like, oh, I think that we need to treat our gay brothers and sisters equally and give them the same tax rights under law and allow them to marry and yada yada. And everybody's sitting there going, the only reason you're saying that is because your son is gay. I mean, how sad is that it needs to happen to you personally before you can sympathize or empathize with people? Dick Cheney's daughter, same thing. Oh, she's gay. Well, now I'm in favor of gay marriage. Oh, well, Dick, if you were in a position of power, maybe you could have done something about that. So only when it happens to them, then, oh my God, we need Chris Christie with Hurricane Sandy. I love small government. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. We don't need no stinking feds. Oh, a hurricane hit? Hey, you mind, FEMA, you mind reimbursing us 100%? We love you, big government. So I'm begging Republicans, whether you're Jim Inhofe, who had to experience this horrible thing to realize the Democrats are good people, and he even said that more Democrats called him than Republicans. Can't say I'm surprised about that either. If you're one of these people, all of a sudden you're in favor of gay marriage when somebody in your family is gay, please, I'm begging you. Think about the issue before it occurs in your circle, in your life, and just try to put yourself in other people's shoes thinking about it. So try to be objective mentally before it affects you personally, and then you'll come to the same conclusion without having to experience it on your own. Please do that. The country would be a much better place if you did.